The Search for Truth Begins with Belief. Who writes these?
Star Wars, Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 2, A Distant Echo. Let's get into it.
So after hearing the transmission in the last episode from an apparent Echo who we haven't seen since Season 3, a clone trooper, it's time to go rescue him. So the Bad Batch, who we really got into in the first episode, we get more of them, and guess who joins them? Anakin Skywalker. So Anakin and the clones and the Bad Batch are all kind of waiting around for Obi-Wan to approve the mission. And while they're waiting, Anakin motions to Rex like, hey, we still got to do that thing. Kind of obvious that this has something to do with Padme, the one secret that he has. This scene is really interesting. So Rex gives Anakin his helmet, opens up this door for him, and shuts it and stands outside, standing guard. Anakin goes in, and what pops up but a hologram of Padme. Now, I'm confused. Are we already crossing over the timeline into Revenge of the Sith? Because he mentions the Outer Rim sieges in the movie and in this episode, unless I just made that up, because I did watch Revenge of the Sith the other night just to refresh, because I know at some point this season of Clone Wars is going to intersect with Revenge of the Sith. Woo! And that excites me. Cool thing about this episode is this algorithm that Admiral Trench created that basically is kind of leading the clones to where they want them to go. And the algorithm's basically perfect. The clones follow what they thought they were going to do step by step. We'll get into that in a second. But back to Anakin and Padme. Padme is definitely pregnant, and either Anakin is just like an idiot and doesn't notice, or again, this timeline it's not made clear yet. This is a little bit before Revenge of the Sith. And then remember, when he gets back from, that last battle at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith and they finally see each other, he says, I never thought we were going to get back from those Outer Rim sieges. So I feel like this mission that they're about to go on to go try and rescue Echo is like the last mission before he comes and sees her. So episode 3 or 4 could have parts of Revenge of the Sith in it, and that would just be so awesome for me. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think it's cool if they blend into one of the movies? There was a lot of Mandalorian Easter eggs in this episode, and we'll get to those in a second. But the main takeaway is Padme telling Anakin, you just gotta trust Obi-Wan. Trust his instinct just like he trusts you. Going back to the search for truth begins with belief. But the best part of this whole interaction is, Obi-Wan's about to get past Rex and get behind the door and find out what the hell Anakin's doing. And Anakin's done. And he comes walking out and he's like, oh, and Obi-Wan's like, well, what was going on in that? And Anakin's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he blows it off and they shut the door and Anakin's like, all right, I'm going to go get the Bad Batch and the clones and go rescue Echo. And Obi-Wan says, I hope you at least told Padme I said hello. Just showing that, you can't hide things from a master Jedi like Obi-Wan Kenobi with a simple door in the way. He knows. He knows what's up. I mean, remember when he's like, he finds out Padme's pregnant and he's like, I assume Anakin's the father. Brutal. I'm going to be posting a video a little later. My buddy and I from the podcast really got into the Revenge of the Sith and what things that this website is suggesting if they removed it would be better, and I give my take on that. Moving on, as Anakin and the Bad Batch and the clones are on their way to Skako Minor, it's revealed that the Bad Batch don't even really know who they report to, just emphasizing the Emperor's long con, causing confusion on levels and levels and levels, just turning everyone against everyone. Just genius. It's a shame they really couldn't wrap it up well. Yes, I'm talking about The Rise of Skywalker. After a rough landing, Tech lets everyone know that there are native, living, humanoidish creatures that live on this planet called Politics. They worship this winged reptilian creature, or in other circles, what's called a dragon. Anyway, seconds after they arrive, the Politics and their dragons attack ships, and one of the dragons actually picks up Anakin and flies away with him. Anakin, of course, dropping his lightsaber in the process again. So the Politics are like these pink, lanky, just typical alien, like the movie Signs. That's kind of what they looked like, only pink. And their dialect was auto-tune. Their alien language that they needed Tech to translate with his stuff. And basically after like a standoff and they rescue Anakin, but not after one of the Bad Batch guys pulls a page right out of Mando's book and grapple hooks onto the dragon, and it pulls him up in the air and he's flying after it, just like Mandalorian did in the season finale with Moff Gideon. But they finally get to play politics, and Anakin and Tech and the leader of the Politics discuss, and they explain, yo, guess what? We didn't bring this war to you, because the Politics were like, yo, I don't want your war on my planet, that's why I kidnapped your leader. And they were like, yo, this isn't our war, the Separatists and Wat Tambor, they've got one of our guys captured, we're here to rescue him, and then we're leaving. The Politic was like, wait a second, the Separatists are here? Okay, you know what? I'll show you exactly where he is, and I'll supply some of our troops to help out. So cool. We then cut back to the main boss of these early first few episodes, Admiral Trench, who's actually kind of growing on me. At first I was just like, oh, he's such a throwaway. You know, I think we saw him in season 1 or 2. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But after he was gone, I was glad to get rid of him. I'm not a fan of villains whose mouths are very messy. I mean, you want to say Jabba the Hutt's mouth is messy, but it's really not. I mean, there's 2 lips and a tongue. This guy's got like all these things hanging around. His teeth move when he talks. But I'm enjoying him more. I kind of like his mobster behind the scenes. He lets Tambor know that the Republic is on Skako, and that their algorithm actually worked to perfection. So they cut back to the clones and the Bad Batch and Anakin, and they're, you know, all going along the trail, following the signal to try to find Echo, and Tech loses the signal, which of course lead to voiced concerns of it being a trap, which leads to doubt amongst the group, which also leads to a scuffle amongst the Bad Batch and the clones when one of the Bad Batch guys says, hey Rex, do you really believe that Echo's alive, or are you just really hoping he's alive? Anakin eventually breaks up the scuffle, and that ties back to the theme of this episode. First with Anakin and Padme, you gotta trust Obi-Wan, and now with Rex and Echo and just his own internal struggle of like, I just gotta believe he's alive. That's what's pushing me forward. If you stop believing that Echo's alive, then all motivation is gone. I love what they're doing with the Bad Batch, because I was already in love with the idea of focusing a show on the clones. I mean, you never get to know them, and it's interesting to see that even though they are all the same exact DNA, life hits everyone in 1,000 different ways, and you become different. But the Bad Batch is like this more evolved individual development, and I just love it. I just love how, you know, they have advanced strength and advanced mental abilities, but they also have deeper emotional availability, which, you know, for a sensitive guy like me is wonderful. So Tech eventually finds the signal again right when they blow their stealth mission and blast some army droid, and, you know, everything goes haywire. But obviously they have Anakin, so they make their way through the droid army, but then they lose the signal again. Tech finds out the only way that he can trace the signal is if the signal is used, like if Echo actually uses the broadcast. So instead of waiting, Anakin's like, yo, you guys go that way, we'll go this way, search every single door until we find him. Signal's back up again. This is feeling more and more like a trap. They go through every single door and eventually meet up around at the one last open door. And that's when Tambor pops up on the screen, laughing, you clones are so predictable. I knew you would do every single thing that you've done, leading you right here. The algorithm predicted every move you would make. Rex then demands for Echo. Tambor responds, your friend is dead, and his mind is ours. What the hell does that even mean? Tambor then dispatches more droids. It's starting to get a little hairy, and then Anakin comes in from behind, takes out a bunch of them. While they're holding off the rest of them, Rex and Tech hack through the door. They get in to this lab with, you know, monitors and weirdo machines and this big, huge stasis chamber, you know, like the one you see at a Morlock Inn at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Just basically this standing a casket with tubes and wires. Something is happening, and Tech says, I'm locating a life form. Rex then just like pries open the door of the stasis chamber, and out comes Echo. But he's like Matrix style. He's got like tubes and wires and shit like connected to him, like he's plugged into something, and he's like delirious. And Rex is like, we gotta get him down. So they pull him down, and he's repeating what he's saying the last time we saw him in season 3. He's like, we gotta get to the ship, we gotta escape the Citadel. That's the last time we saw Echo. And the episode ends. What? See, this is how I know these first two episodes, although they are just major seed planner episodes, stuff that's going to get paid off way at the end. When I'm angry and I'm caught off guard when they end, because I know they're only like 20 minutes, but when I'm not expecting the end, I'm like, okay, they're going to give us a little more of Echo. They're going to expand right here before this episode ends. Boom, they end it. I love it. Filoni, you're doing a great job, man. I'm really enjoying it. Let me know what you guys think. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to tell your grandmother I love you. Bye.